Let's see here. Alright, it's working. Just need to make sure everything else is okay and accounted for. Just making sure everything's ready to start. Jeez. Almost there. Let's making sure everything is set up before we start. Alright, and we're live. What's up guys, the Keyblade Soul here, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Well, K Faraday, welcome to the stream. Not always, sometimes it's the other guy. But I guess you were lucky. Anyway, welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time, we were entrapped by the Mastermind in this crazy class trial in which no one was expecting and no one is at fault. Which is obviously a threat laid to us by the Mastermind. But no more. Thanks to the efforts of Alter Ego, aka Chihiro, we've managed to escape the deadly trap, and we are now facing the Mastermind head-on. Of course, by your request yesterday, after I ended the stream, I decided to go back to the other save and find out what happened if I chose the other option. And of course, Kyoko would be found the murder, and we get to some kind of crazy alternate ending. But then suddenly we went back to the trial. So even if we picked the first choice, we would have gone back to the trial anyway and did the other choice. But whatever. At least what I did is that I continued on until the scene where we had the garbage chute, and then just continue on from there. So, without further ado, let's just move on to the next scene. Okay, so we are in this garbage chute. We should at least explore around. Yeah, the desk that fell down with Makoto. What the heck is this? Wait a minute. Isn't that like the space shuttle that was in the prologue? Wasn't it? Let's see, what's this? An airplane? What does an airplane do in a garbage pit? Oh well, let's see what we have here. Locked, of course. Getting out of here is not going to be that easy, that's for sure. Food in a garbage trunk, but yeah, I bet it's all rotten. Yeah, exactly. That is true. How can I drink any liquids and which one is a bad idea? I feel like I'm all blocked on all sides. Exactly. Because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. Well said, Makoto. You fell asleep? Okay. Oh. Whoa. What was that? What the? Piles of garbage? Did something fall down there? Over there? Okay, what could it have been? I wonder. Let's see. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? Okay.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Wait, what? Kyoko?
It smells awful.
With a cup of noodles on her head. Sorry, but how does she look so serious? So serious with a cup of noodles on her head? I'm sorry. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage on in your hair.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We could talk once you're finished. Bread and water. Awesome. Thank you. There we go. Whew, that really hit the spot. Noodle cup Kyoko. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not a bad thing to be good at. Okay, time to talk to Kyoko then. But Kyoko, why do you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. No. Or no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Let's hear that reason then. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I can't... so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? How? I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived in the school? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seemed much too convenient. Tell me about it. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I could come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind. Makes sense, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. That is true. Plus, there's always a chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? That is true.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Why Makoto of all people? That's true. Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just my intuition, but... kinda makes sense. See, your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
What was that? What just happened?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. I was convinced. It's just a personality. So how do we get out of here? Better talk to Kyoko again, alright? You said you had a reason for doing all this investigation on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Alright? You mentioned your ability. My ability was what everyone should have known me for. And I'm the ultimate detective. I called it! I knew she was the ultimate detective! It just shows! I just called it! The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in this school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Hello! What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us that how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? That's why she reacted that way. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that what I felt based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. Alright. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Oh! I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured a headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. I see. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. Oh boy. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Oh boy. So, what now?
However,
Of course, once they got the cameras in, no matters, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the Mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. To get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. Damn. The Mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Wow. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The Mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. Wow. The Mastermind themselves is somehow bound to the school regulations. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. What? I could have been the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean that time where she tried to assault the room? That makes sense. I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. Then that ability naturally draws me into cases. Just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw that what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
Nice, Kyoko. So Kyoko did save us. That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the masked assailant was. They ended up dead.
correct.
Yep. And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the Mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't this create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted you to use the class trial to try and kill you, because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You are right. That is a contradiction, and it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does this all mean?
In other words,
It means that the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Oh ho ho! This is getting interesting.
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not... Uh-oh.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Oh boy. The tragedy. They're the ultimate despair? That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. The ultimate despair. That's what caused this crazy thing. That is ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Whoa, only now that chapter 5 ended? Maybe I could have continued a little more. 6 students still alive. Well, we're continuing right now. I didn't know that the thing just ended right there. Okay. Dream Island Rocket. Okay. Yes, I want to save the data. 5 alive. 5. There's 6. The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. The same people who put together this killing game and began broadcasting around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Exactly. Right now...
Anyway...
Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Well said. Yeah, you're right. But how do we get out of here? The door's locked. Unless... Kyoko? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's absolutely vital. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the Mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Wow. We should be able to use it on that door. Alright, let's see. Hey, Kyoko. We can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Okay, time to use the universal key. It opened! Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. Alright. Time to make our escape. Exactly, the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Okay. A metal ladder leading at the tunnel. I'm glad they actually darkened the upskirt peak, I guess. But yeah, this is... You know, this kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 3. You know, that giant ladder that Snake had to climb up? It's impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you sleep, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Exactly. So Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. You said that you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. A notification popped up when the picture appeared. Yeah, I know. That was actually that was actually a trophy notification. Sorry about that. Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That's how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Wow. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Wow. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did, knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason to give up on that pride, you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, It was because how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him, face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Why? Why would you want to do that? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself. But apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in the line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him. Probably.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I would never have the chance to become a detective. Wow. Yep. She was more talkative, alright, and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. Wow. Yeah, Kyoko's been through a lot. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me 8 years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that...
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood. Nothing more. And we connected by heart? Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Wow. And then, they finally reached the top. Careful. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well then, here goes nothing. Alright then. Yep, here we are in front of the trash room. Looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here. Yep. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. That's amazing. Alright. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, what? Isn't that a little risky?
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. Right, the surveillance cameras. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind left their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we could talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. Alright then. Hey there, Thomas. Welcome back. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Alright then. Let's head to the gym. Let's confront Monokuma directly. Don't worry, you didn't miss much, Killua. We just escaped from the garbage chute, and now we're about to confront Monokuma. Let's do this. Let's see here. We're heading straight to the gym, no questions asked. Alright. Model Cup Kyoko. Yeah, I've seen the other path. I already explained it at the beginning of the video, but it was interesting.
Well now.
There he is. Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But
don't
Makoto's supposed to be
believe
dead!
it!
What's he doing here? Yep. You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you out?
What?
What if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again.
Angry!
And this time, I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
No.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that matters to you, right?
Huh?
Oh? I lose?
Hey!
You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened, and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
Alright. Don't worry, Thomas. I already seen that part. K. Faraday and I witnessed this, so there's no worry about spoilers at that point. But beyond this, no spoilers. All right. But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Wow.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. Excuse me a second. Oh. Probably a false call. But let me check. It was definitely a false call. Never mind. Alright. But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now here's then the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it will surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? Damn, Kyoko, you are amazing. And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well...
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is it, a comedy routine? to make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he would never have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared for another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been griped by the despair you loved to inspire. You so loved to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Oh!
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because of what he said. What we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey.
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Well, Monokuma, what do you have to say to that? If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
That's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Whoa!
Hey.
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of their mastermind themselves. Ho ho ho, I'm getting pumped! But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? Oh boy. Will they accept it? Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Did you really have to make it like a pun? So, he's accepting our terms? Hold on, let me just do a little check here. There we go. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was just getting bored, so I decided to change things up again. So time for some bear jokes. No, please. Now, what you suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do this your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Oh boy. Then I'm prepared to agree with your terms. Come on. Will your hope win out? Or will my despair claim victory? Oh boy.
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Alright, then we still have a shot at it. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do
I
that,
can barely contain
then that'll be enough of
myself.
to qualify as a victory for you.
It's
Oh
true.
boy. That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way out to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we recover every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? Oh boy, wow.
Hey.
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
Hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is not exception to that. Interesting. So whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. So anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth?